Speaking of the dumb politics, there's a new thing I think you're going to like. It's called the No Labels Party, looking to run as a third party. Some Republicans, some Democrats. It's like kind of the old moderate Democrat, the Joe Lieberman, the Manchin. If you can pull this up, Christian, it's called No Labels, nolabels.org. I want to give it a little bit of play. I want to give it a little bit of runtime.
Nolabels.org.
Yeah, and they're thinking about doing a third-party run here, which has the Democrat establishment fucking livid because they think they're only going to siphon. There we go. Common sense majority. Common sense majority. One of the things that I love about this recent political
common
cycle,
sense.
That
It's
what
unfortunate
I love,
how fucking uncommon it is nowadays, though, you know?
Yeah, for sure. What I love about this current moment in politics is everybody is sick and tired of the establishment, and I think they're more open.
I've been sick and tired of that shit since I first started learning about politics.
Really?
Absolutely.
To this level? Like to the point where...
Just about.
Yeah. Well, now I think a lot of people,
and that's one of the reasons why I'm apolitical, as you like to call it. Like that I'm not very political. Couldn't remember an election that I thought it wasn't kind of between a shit and a fart. I never looked at it. One guy was like, "This is a fucking man to be revered.
Yep.
This is a great man right here. This is a man that I want to be the leader of my country."
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's something I don't know.
No, that's a great point. And one of the things I think that's great about, because of the current environment where you have so much independent media and nobody really trusts the mainstream media, they did a poll on that. I believe it was CNN did a poll, and 47% of the country, 47%, the most in like 50 years, is open to voting for third party. 47% of the country.
So what's this common sense, no labels
thing?
So
Joe Manchin, it looks like Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin's a Democrat out of West Virginia who basically...
You like him?
Yeah, he held this country together. Joe Manchin held this country together.
Was he like a speaker or something?
No. Joe Manchin is a Democrat. Him and Kristen Sinema are... Now, Sinema is no longer a Democrat. She's a registered independent. They held up against the most pressure you could possibly imagine to not pass the far left, most progressive...
What was Joe Manchin's role?
Joe Manchin is a senator from...
Senator.
West Virginia. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's from West Virginia.
Maybe I was wrong, but I felt like you kept saying he's a Democrat.
He is a Democrat.
Yeah, no, but I don't think you said that he was a senator. Maybe you did. If so, forgive me.
But him being a Democrat is more important than where he's at because he went against his own party. He was the vote. He was the no vote on the filibuster. He was the no vote on adding extra. Like, they could have done insane shit. If he just went along with party line, the voting age could be 16. D.C. and Puerto Rico could be states right now. There could be 19 members of the Supreme Court. Like, they wanted to change everything to make it so that they would never lose ever again.
Yeah.
And Joe Manchin was the guy and did it to his own party, who was like, no, this is nuts. Absolutely not. No. Joe Manchin deserves a lot of credit.
He was like operating with like common sense and like being realistic and being...
He actually thought about what was best for his people.
When people say based, when they say like based and super based, like I remember on that video with me choking out Ben, you put up like that David Carradine thing, and a bunch of people were saying like based, super based, or like, so what does that mean?
It's a gamer and like a 4chan thing where it used to mean like based in reality, like tougher, and then it became like a red pill thing where it was like manly, like sort of like that. It's kind of the anti-woke, you know. I think the modern Democrat is not the Democrat that we grew up with. The modern Democrat has been reduced down to what they are, not what they believe in, right? Like, you can't disagree with the orthodoxy of the woke church, because if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, you ain't gay, you ain't whatever box we put you in. Right, so they force you into their ideology, or you have to go against the pressure of all. They almost treat you like a scab. You ever go online and you see a black guy who's a conservative, and other white progressives go nuts, like the most racist shit you've ever seen. They treat him like a union scab, like somebody who crossed the line. You know, so and this whole idea of diversity, it's superficial diversity. It's diversity of things you can't change. You have no say in the way you're born. You have no say in your skin color. You have no say really in your sexual orientation, right? So that's not anything to be proud of or dismissed by. That's just the card you were dealt, right? Sure. So things that you can actually be legitimately judged on and proud of, you know, and get adulation for, your intellect, what you've done in your life, your achievements, your intellect, your ambitions, right? These are things you can be judged on. That's not what we're judged on. We're judged solely on immutable characteristics, right? It's not how smart you are. It's whether or not you were born this color or you were born this sexuality. That's nonsensical.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded.
It's reduced down to the lowest common denominator, So that's why it becomes very difficult to have any sort of, and then we mix it in with what we talked about a couple episodes ago, where there's people that have gotten these degrees from these institutions. So they're like, it doesn't matter what you say. I know I'm right because I have the check mark. I have the elitist thing, So it's kind of that, what do they call it? The self-licking ice cream cone type of a deal. It's reductionist. But anyway.
Yeah, you're just talking about that one aspect, kind of. Seems like you're talking about a black conservative getting ripped apart for being black and being conservative.
Correct. And I've had these conversations before. I've had these quote-unquote debates. If I had a socioeconomic debate with a black liberal, at the end of it, no matter what points I make, they will always retreat back to the Mott and Bailey fallacy of, well, you don't know what it's like to be black. Okay, so then what did we just do here? If that's the crux of the argument, then what is any of the conversation we just had? Right? So, yeah, it's nonsensical, really, when it comes down to it. And I think that's kind of where they're at as a party. They really don't give a shit. They just want to win. They just want power. They're not dumb. They're manipulative, and that's where they are.